What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have some more Contest of Champions for you, and today I wanted to make a video highlighting the best tips and strategies that I have for beating Solvarch in this month's Valiant Gauntlet. Now, for those of you that do not know, Solvarch is a very tricky defender. He has a lot of high armor. The nodes on him are particularly nasty, and there's only really a few that are good counters that I would consider. So in today's video, I wanted to go over those counters and show you why I think one champion in particular is probably sneakily the best. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So here we are looking at our cosmic roster, and first of all, it's not very big, but you know what? It's good enough to get the job done. And you know, you may be thinking to yourself, who is this magical counter that I was talking about? Well, it is not Vox, it is not Medusa, and it is not even the Serpent. It is actually Venom the Duck. This absolute legend can destroy Solvarch, and mine is only a rank 1. He's leveled up all the way, but that's honestly all you need. You could probably use a maxed out 6-star for this. He just cooks him, okay? Now, keep in mind, you won't be able to block against Solvarch because you will get Incinerate on you. If you need to parry a few times, that's okay. It's not a big enough Incinerate to take you down. But the reason we want to be using Venom the Duck here is only because of his special 2. For those of you that don't know, Venom the Duck's special 2 applies a buff called Toxic Armor. Now, Toxic Armor basically punishes the enemy for having a higher armor rating. Now, Solvarch is going to be gaining armor ups every 2 seconds if he's not being hit. So the idea is you build up to a special 2 and then you just dex and dance around until he gets to probably around 30 was the sweet spot for me. And then he will just absolutely crumble. And I will show you guys a video of that. This is taken from my live stream last night where we did a first time clear of the Valiant Gauntlet. Admittedly, it took me a few runs to get a good Venom the Duck run. To be honest, I played like garbage, even in my successful run. But I want to show you guys how it went, just so that you can see the absolute unit that Venom the Duck is. And anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this fight real quick. Okay, so a couple things I want to talk about for this fight. First of all, I realized I could just bring Odin in for his pre-fights. That doesn't really matter too much, but I figured I'd mention it just because it might help just a little bit. Anyway, for this fight, when we're playing as Venom the Duck, it doesn't really matter if we hit into Solvarch's block because we're going to be doing all of our damage after our special 2, because that's just going to help us hit like a freight train. So hitting into his block doesn't matter. If you don't know why that would matter otherwise, Solvarch regenerates a portion of energy damage that he takes. So the idea, I think, behind this was that he's going to be just like juicing himself up by getting energy damage. But yeah, just ignore that. We do get hit a few times. I still haven't quite got his special 1 timing down. I'm still working on it. Eventually we'll get there, though. But yeah, you see me, I have that special 2. We just kind of dance around now until we get to probably around 30 armor ups. Mine is a 7-star Venom the Duck, so you may need to dance around just a smidgen longer, but I think this was the sweet spot for me. Also, sorry for the poor quality. This was taken from my YouTube live stream, and my computer is not like the best in the world. But anyway, we're going to launch that special 2. We're going to get the Toxic Armor. Solvarch unfortunately goes unblockable. I can't remember. I think that's from the node. I think if he gets knocked down, he goes unblockable. But look at the damage we're doing. Like, one combo just did half of his health. And then now we're just going to commit with the relic, and hopefully we get enough damage to KO him. But we do. Like, look at that, dude. Like, one just combo going to town on him with the Toxic Armors is fantastic. All right, and outside of Venom the Duck, this is probably your number 1 counter, I would say, and that is going to be Gallon. And keep in mind, again, I'm not even using a maxed out 6-star Gallon. He is ascended, so keep that in mind. But what you want to do with Gallon is pretty straightforward. I mean, he does Gallon things. He punishes any sort of armor gain. It's just going to really feed into his planetary harvest, and that's kind of what makes Gallon so good. He also has a little bit of energy resist, so those incinerates won't be hurting as hard. Okay, so let's jump into the fight real quick. And this fight will go pretty quick. As you can see, my planetary harvest charges are already over 100. That's because Solvarch is just getting an armor up every 2 seconds, so Gallon is just really ramping super quickly. And it doesn't matter too much if we take Incinerate or Cold Snap, because as you can see, like, Gallon gets that purple energy resist buff. It's not the strongest in the world because it hasn't been stacked up to its max, but it's enough to keep us healthy, which is all we really need it for. So we're pretty much gonna just wait until our harvest number gets big, probably somewhere in the 800 to 900 range. You can wait until it goes all the way to 999, but I don't think that's really necessary just because of how fast you're building the charges every time. And you don't even have to use a special one to detonate your harvest. If you need to, like I did here, the circumstances didn't really work out for me, so I just kind of let it expire naturally. And that was enough to take him down. So anyway, Gallon makes it pretty cheesy and easy, so I recommend him. The last counter that I ended up using personally, that isn't necessarily a hard counter, but is still just a good champion, is Hulkling. I didn't get the solo when I used Hulkling. I probably could have, but I made a few mistakes. I'm still trying to get that special one timing down for Solvarch. That's honestly been my biggest barrier to beating him in one shot. But yeah, Hulkling will work just fine. You kind of want to be careful though, because Solvarch can get steadfast. So his optimal rotation is launching an unblockable special 2 into block, so that you can get those 2 Furies. But you don't really need to do that. I mean, you can just play him without that playstyle, and Hulkling should do fine. Anyway, guys, I hope this video helped you. There are actually a couple other counters I did want to give an honorable mention. Some of these I haven't quite tried, but I've seen a lot of people that have been saying that they've worked just fine for them. One of which is Medusa. Medusa can be a little bit tricky because you have to knock Solvarch down to be able to armor break him. If you can do that and play around the unblockable, Medusa works just fine. I used her to clean up the final fight in the quest for me after Hulkling died, so I definitely know she works. I have also heard that people can... You know, Hercules works, and he just does Hercules things, right? If anything, you can just revive spam your way to victory. I've also heard of people using Red Goblin and CGR because they're Incinerate immune. They're going to be able to get around some of that blocking damage that you get when you're fighting against Solvarch. There's also those guys for an option. If you have a super high sig Angela, I would imagine she would also work. And then probably Null as well, just because he can armor break. But again, just keep in mind you have to knock him down to be able to armor break Solvarch. So, but anyway, outside of that, maybe Beta Ray build would work. I haven't tried him just because his pulverize and stuff. His only issue would be Solvarch heals from energy based damage. You'll want to watch out for that. For the same reason, if you use Red Goblin, don't use Special 2. CGR specials are probably largely not going to do a bunch of damage, but if you can get his buffs up, he'll still do pretty big crit damage, I would imagine. But outside of that, guys, those are probably the best champs I know of. If you know of any other counters that are like super fantastic for this quest, please do let me know. Drop them in the comments below. I just wanted to show you guys mostly Venom the Duck because I don't think that this guy is really being considered by anybody right now. Venom the Duck actually hits like such a train when he gets those toxic armors on Solvarch. It's like crazy. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, drop a like, all that jazz. And I will see you guys in the next one.